Well, I want to know, did you finish Nano this year? Do you want to know if I did? Keep watching and I will tell you. Welcome to Allie on Life, where we are talking about life, business, and telling the stories the world needs to hear. Have you heard about the gift that I am offering writers this month? Well, if you are a writer or you know a writer, make sure that you watch all the way to the end of this video because I will give you all the details then. And also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoy it. It helps me to see what videos are important and what things people are enjoying, and then also gives me an idea of what to plan for the future, as well as helping me to grow my channel. So thank you for doing that. National Novel Writing Month is over, and I'm so glad because for a whole year I won't have to say or write or type NaNoWriMo anymore. So now that it's over, now what? If you finished, what are you going to do next? Well, here's one thing that you should probably not do immediately, and that is publish your book. What? Yeah, no, don't do it. There are a couple things that you need to do before you get your book out there, especially if you have written an entire novel in a month. You need to go back and read that thing, please. Go back and look at the characters and the plot and see how things are flowing and see if you've made mistakes in the writing. Sometimes when I get to writing really quickly, I kind of lose track of my timeline and things, and so I have to go back and fix that. There are lots of things you can go back and polish up before people get to read your book. So do that. And then also find yourself another editor other than yourself. Maybe a friend, maybe someone that you can pay to read your book and offer suggestions, fix mistakes, do all those things, catch things that you might have missed. Because, we look at our work one way. Someone else can look at it a different way. And it's always good to get that extra set of eyes on there. Once it's all edited and polished and pretty, well, it needs to be actually pretty. You need a cover for that thing if you're going to publish it. And if you're going to publish it in a physical form, you need a back cover and a spine, and you need typesetting so that it actually makes a real book. So those are all things that you have to take into consideration. And they are things that you can do yourself with a lot of work and effort and some helpful apps, which I will link in the description to this video. Or you can hire that out as well. But whatever you do, just make sure that if you wrote a book in November, that you don't publish it in December. Just don't do that. Probably don't want to publish it in January either. Give it the time that it needs to become a good book and a book that people will want to read and recommend to their friends. Not just because they love you, but because they love your story. Now, if you didn't finish, that's okay. I didn't either. I wrote about 10,000 words, which is a far cry from 50,000, but it's also 10,000 more words than I had written at all this year in my book that I'm working on. So it was a really good start. Actually, well, I'd already started it. So it was really good continuing from where I had started. And I'm so glad that I did it because now I have more momentum and I have a better idea of how things need to go. I wrote a lot of words in there's one day in that book so far, and it's a lot of words for one day. And so I need to kind of figure out how I'm dealing with that. And there are just different things that I encountered along the way. I remembered why November is a terrible month to write a book for so many reasons, but I just have so many things going on, and I am one of those people who hates the excuse of I just didn't have time, but I legit didn't have time. I wrote in as much time as I had, and that got me to 10,000 words. And even those words, some of them are not very good. Some of them I rushed because I was trying to get to a word count, and so I need to go back and do some editing before I can go forward and continue writing the story. I came up against a really difficult part that I was having trouble getting past. And sometimes that happens when you're writing a book. Even if you have the whole thing already plotted out like I did, sometimes in the writing, depending on especially how experienced of a writer you are, you can come up with issues that you have to get through. And so that can keep you from finishing. Kept me from finishing, and it may have done the same for you. So now what? Well, for one thing, hey, it's okay. Whatever you did. If you finished, good job. Great for you, because 50,000 words in a month, that's a lot. So that is awesome. And I am so proud of you. And if you didn't, but you got something written, well, hey, good for you, because a lot of people didn't. And so you probably did something in November that a lot of other people in the world didn't do, didn't have the time to do, or the guts to do, or they didn't just sit down and do it. And you did. So good work. Congratulate yourself. I congratulate you. Now, what next? If you started and you decided along the way, maybe writing isn't really for me. Maybe I don't really have it, and maybe I don't really like it. That's okay. Not everyone has to be a writer. Not everyone should be a writer or is a writer or wants to be a writer. So if you don't want to be, that is just fine. You gave it a shot and you didn't like it, and you can let it go. If you did start and you thought, wow, I want to keep doing this because this is a fun story and I'm having such a great time. And maybe you're already, an established writer and it's something that you just know that you do and you just didn't finish Nano, and that's okay. Well, it's okay. Just find some support, get some writing buddies, and carry on, because you have words in you that need to come out. So get them out there. Now, if you did try it this year, I want to know in the comments if you got it done, or if you didn't, how many words you wrote, because I want to congratulate you and just applaud you for your effort and for your amazing work. And if you need a little bit of help with the project that you're working on, if you're stuck, or if you just need to talk through it with someone, what I'm offering this month is free half-hour calls where we can just get together either on the phone or over video, and you can tell me about your book or your project, whatever you're working on, and you can tell me some issues that you might be having, and I will give you some ideas for how you can move forward, and then just some action steps that you can take. And it's all free. It's just something that I want to do for fellow writers, because sometimes we just need to talk that out before our brains can connect and solve the problems that they need to solve in our stories before we move on. So if that is something that would be interesting to you, if you want to take advantage of that offer, just click the link in the description to this video. There's a scheduler there, and you can pick a time that works for you. If there's not a time there that works for you, I might be able to squeeze in another time, so just email me, Allie@AllisonDuke.com. Thanks again for watching. Now get out there and tell your story, because someone needs to hear it.